Hi and welcome back to my solo playthrough of A Feast for Odin. And of course there was a minor mistake or a minor goof. And that was in respect to flipping these discovery tiles. I mean, it's even printed here on the player board. I placed one coin next to each of those, but it should have been two. This means, first of all, we are getting one extra coin because keep in mind, we were getting the Faroe Islands over here, but all the others are getting an extra one too. So let me quickly repair that. And because they're getting more of those, I believe the B tile would be flipped now. I own the B tile, so it's not flipping, but we are still adding some coins in here. So these are the, let's say, replacement coins for the last round, and now we are adding more coins. Even though we are not flipping it, the bonus is still being provided to all of the other islands here. So going after Greenland or Iceland would be nice, of course, but not sure if I will go for another island actually. As usual, we are getting our extra Vikings this round, and we are getting some harvest. Now we are getting all the, let's say, edible resources from 1 to 3. So I think food-wise, we should be okay for quite a while. But that's, even the rules say you can go to the market to get you some extra food, but usually you're getting enough from the harvest. So let's see if we can immediately, yeah, I think we should be okay. No, this was a meat. So we're adding this here, and one flax goes onto this base. So again, food-wise, we should be okay. We already did that. Now we are getting an extra weapon card. It's another bow and arrow. Also, maybe we can go hunting. Yeah, the space is still blocked for our farmhand, but still, hunting isn't terrible. And yeah, then we are moving into the actions phase. The blue Vikings are still here on the board. This round, we will be dealing with the yellow ones. Okay. With our first action, I think we want to get some wool. We have to place 3 Vikings on that space because it's the third column. This allows us to draw an additional occupation card. And here we have the custodian. It's an immediate effect. When we play this card, we get 2 silver for each longhouse or normal house we have at that point in time. Right now, we don't have any of those, but yeah, we are not playing this card right now. Yeah, that's another very special one. Yeah, it's not bad. I mean, getting some coins, and it drives a little bit our engine towards building houses, for example. That's definitely worth it. But yeah, let's see about that. For now, we are not going to play that card. But of course, we are still getting our wool. And because we have at least 3 sheep, we are also getting 3 wool for that. Not terrible. Because I don't need to spend an action to use our ship architect, I think I'm going to use him right away. So we have to spend 3 wood, 1 linen or 1 wool. We have the wool, so we are giving it back. We're also giving back the wood, and this gives us one of these. I think this is a long ship, dragon boat in the German version of the game. But yeah, ultimately 8 victory points right now. Let's do some upgrades, I believe. So we are sending, we could send someone in here actually, or should we? No, let's go for this space here. This allows us to do 2 upgrades, but we have to assign these upgrades to 2 different resources. So I can't upgrade 1 resource twice, for example. So moving it from orange to blue, red to blue, for example. But I think that is fine. And I believe I want to upgrade the wool to this treasure chest here, because it should be allow us, yes indeed, to more or less encircle the iron ore here if we also bring down one of these coins. And now we already have actively, yeah, covered up 1 of the, or 4 of these minus spaces. And again, this is now covered up, which is amazing. So we are getting 1 iron ore at the end of each round. That's really huge. Again, this has taken me a while, but I'm going to the 3rd column here again. This requires me to have one of these, again, Knorrs. We have 1, not a problem. And now we can buy up to 2 items for their appropriate silver price. So I think the first one is relatively simple because this costs us exactly 0. We are totally taking that, whatever. I think it's glass beads or so. Not complaining here, because we can put it onto our player board just nicely. We still have 4 silver coins, so we can really go extremely crazy, like going for this hammer here, for example, or this, I don't know what this even is actually, or this axe here for 4, or maybe this, is it a horseshoe? I don't know, for 2 silver, and we still have some silver left. But before we do that, let's place the glass beads here respectively. So we have now encircled this wood as well, so we're getting some bonuses at the end of this round. This is already quite nice. The question is, are we somehow able to unlock this next level of the income? So going from 2 to 3 is definitely worth considering. And I think for the second one we are paying 1 silver here to grab whatever this here is, because we can place it here quite nicely. Let's do it like this. And even though they are not blue, they're also not green, they count as blue resources, so we can basically place anything right next to them. A green one, another blue one, another gray one, that's not a problem. Again, the only quote-unquote problematic tiles or colors are the green ones, because green can't go next to green. So I think that was quite all right. We still get an occupation card though. And here we have the nobleman, which is also an immediate thing, or basically an ongoing effect. Whenever we are putting some grain into one of these houses, we can at that point in time buy us one, I think it's linen or so, or is it, I think it's silk, I don't know, for 2 silver. So we can basically exchange 2 spaces for 4 spaces. That's pretty nice actually. But yeah, we have to still play it, and it's worth 2 victory points. That's also not nothing. But yeah, with those 2, they seem to work quite nicely together. So here we want long houses or these normal houses. I think these are those ones here. Yeah, I think that's fine. And with this one we can place then something into these houses, and then we get an immediate bonus, and together that's 3 victory points. So maybe we should consider buying at least 1 long house or so. Okay, we still have 2 more meeples, and if we are somehow able to fill up this space here as well, we would be getting 4 income instead of 3. Is that somehow possible? In theory, yes, if we are, instead of using the grain here, transforming this, no, it goes to a red first, and then we need, no, I think we can't do that unless we are taking 2 upgrades. But the only dual upgrades where you really can upgrade 1 resource twice are here on the 4 spot. So that's not going to happen this round, but maybe there's something else we could do. In theory, we could try to lay a trap. This gives us this, whatever, another fur, a bigger fur. Don't really have an awful, we don't have any wood, that's it, but we have 3 of these snares which we would need, and if that fails we get 1 of our Vikings back. Yeah, I think I talked myself into that. So we are going again to lay a trap. It's very similar to the hunting. We are rolling the orange die. We want to roll as low as possible. So that's 6. We can't live. I think we need a 3. 3 is the highest we can roll. Second roll, 7. Still not good enough. Come on. 1, 3. Okay, awesome. Yeah, let's totally do that. So we are spending 3 snares to bring this down to a 0. So amazing. We are getting 1 of these big ones. That's the 2x4, and I think that even means we are getting 1 trap back, 1 snap back. I think that's what this one means. So let's place this sucker onto our player board. I think in this case we are covering up this stone here, even though the stone is very, maybe we can somehow make it actually. Yeah, we are lacking 1 coin actually, so we could do, yeah, we need 4 coins, we only have 3 coins, and yeah, we could in fact also place this one here. This would give us 1 stone, and again, stone is also extremely nice. Getting these free resources, I think I talked myself into that, so let's do that. So instead of the extra money, we are going to place something like this. Again, you can also place iron ore onto those, so this also gives us 1 stone at the end of the run, and we already started to cover up 1 or 2 of these minus points here. And with 1 more coin we could have also done this, but that's okay. I believe that's still okay. But those were all our actions. No new start player. We are getting our income. In total, that's 3 here, 1 here. So 4 coins in total. Not too bad. We are getting our animal. Yeah, we are not. We are flipping one to the other side. Next round, we are getting an extra sheep. Then we have to feast. Not a problem. The thing is, you really have to feast before you are actually gaining the bonuses. You get the coins, which you can place onto the table, but the bonuses you don't get for this feast. Somewhat of a bummer. Now we are getting our bonuses. So we are getting 1 here, we are getting 1 wood, we are getting 1 stone, and we are also getting 1 meat here. So that wasn't terrible at all. I definitely take it. And here on the other side, we are gaining some more peas. Okay, let's deal with the mountain strips here respectively. Yeah, okay, I think we really have to do something here, and we have to bring out 1 more. Okay, getting pretty crowded again. I will populate that off camera. And last but not least, we are calling back all our blue Vikings here. So maybe we do some hunting this round, and then we start a new round. We are bringing out more folks here. We don't get any harvest, but I think, okay, here we may have to do something, but let's see about that. We are still flipping basically the sea tile now. I think this is this Labrador. We are adding some more coins, 2 in fact. Here, really the game comes with an awful lot of these coins, and 2 here. We are drawing another weapon. So let's see, another snare. I really was hoping for a sword. There is a space on the board which allows you to, yeah, that's not bad, to draw 4 weapon cards and getting 3 upgrades. And I think we may need some upgrades actually this round because here of the feast table. So let's see, what do we need actually? We have some peas, and then we need something here in red again. I don't want to place 3 coins there as well. But on the other hand, we don't really have another 3. We could do 1 more P here and place another red thing in here like these. We could flip this over to the milk side, for example. But yeah, here we definitely have to do something. Okay, let's start somewhat slow. I guess I'm going here, collecting some stuff and doing 1 upgrade. I'm really tempted now for the 3 goodies going for this stuff. I mean, that's really easily, that basically 5 victory points that are laying there, more or less. On the other hand, I really need some wood now. So I'm somewhat inclined now actually to go for this one here, or maybe this one. It doesn't matter too much. Let's go for this one. So we're getting 3 things from 1 mountain strip and 1 upgrade. And for this 1 upgrade, I may want to flip this one here to the milk side. So we are almost there. We need 1 coin, but we are getting our income there. So not worried about the feast at the end of this round. So we have taken care of that. Next, we are doing something very expensive. We are sending 4 Vikings onto this space. So we are spending 2 stone and 2 wood and the 4 Vikings, of course. That's the costly part of it. And this allows us to take 1 longhout and 1 of these gnors, or 1 of these smaller houses and a dragon boat. I think I want the longhouse actually. So I'm getting this, and we are taking 1 extra ship. The longhouse we can place here, the ship goes in here, and this is basically also our limits. We can't have more than 3 whalers. I don't have any whalers right now, and up to 4 of these. But we may want to send 1 of these ships out to the New World anyway this round. The cool thing about the longhouse here, we can also place orange and red resources here on the track. So that definitely does help us to some extent, and it gives us 17 points. We would be losing 15 points because there are 15 minus points. So we're already gaining 2 victory points from that, but there is a good possibility to do more. Because we sent 4 Vikings to the 4th column here, we are allowed to play a card, and we can again play this card before or after we have taken our action. In this case, we really want to do that afterwards, because I really wanted to play the custodian. Now that's 1 victory point at the end of the game, and now this is an immediate effect. So for every longhouse or small house or stone house, I believe we have, we are getting 2 coins. We have 1 long house out, so in total we are getting 2 coins. It's not great, but ultimately better than nothing, and we can definitely use those coins. Nicely done. And I think this cabbage here, we immediately want to place here into our longhouse, and these spaces here, those columns, these are blocked. We can't build over those, but we're already closer. We're getting 3 more victory points, or losing minus points, however you want to look at it, and we are getting maybe some beans here if we are playing our cards correctly. So I think that's a good starting point. We still have some peas which we could also place in here. So for example, we could prepare for those peas in here like that, also covering up another minus point, and maybe, yeah, maybe we are also unlocking this bonus here. I like that. Okay, next I think we are going to emigrate. We are placing 2 Vikings here. We are right now in round 5, which means we have to spend 5 coins for the emigration. So the longer you wait, the more expensive it gets. We can do that with a longboat or with one of these gnors. I think we will go with one of these gnors from our harbor. And we placed it here onto our feast table. So our feast table just got smaller. We are starting here from the left, because we have sent out some of our mighty Vikings. We are getting 18 points now for this ship, but our feast table gets smaller, so we can also do something like this. So I think we are also feeding our Vikings quite well this round. Yeah, nice. And the 18 points, of course, are great. Now we are down to 2 Vikings already, and I think with the first one we are visiting another mountain strip, and this time I will definitely go for this one. So we are getting 2 things. This will be removed at the end of the round, but because there's still one left, yeah, let's leave it here right now. That was the first one, and with the last Viking, I believe I want to go to this base here. Products. No, that's not product, that's crafting. So we have to spend 1 stone, which we currently have. This gives us 1 coin, and we are getting, I think, this 1 small rune stone here, which is a blue resource which we can place anywhere on the board. So I definitely want the extra income this round. So we are placing this here. So we're getting the 4, and if we can, yeah, I think we can even go to the 5 now actually, because yeah, we are allowed to do that. And if we are somehow able, I think we can even get this runestone bonus here. Let's do that. We are covering up some more minus points, and we are getting 1 of these stones at the end of each round. So basically 3 more times actually. So this will definitely help us to some extent. Yeah, I think that wasn't terrible. That really wasn't terrible. It's also the end of our round. So let's do the income. 5 here, 1 here. That's 6. 6 isn't bad. So we have this and this. Again, you can exchange them anytime during the game if you need smaller currencies and whatnot. We are getting an extra sheep now. Awesome. So we are already at 4. That's 8 points on their own. That's really not nothing in this game. Next we feast. I think we have taken care of that as well. And then we are getting our bonuses. I think before we do the bonus, I think I can now use the coins here actually. So let's make this smaller actually. So I think I want the extra P here, and we could also go for those these beans if we want to. I'm not sure if I want to actually at this point in time. Is it important enough to place 2 coins in there? We're getting an awful lot of those. No, let's not do that just yet. I think that's still fine. We can do that a little bit later as well. So now we are getting our bonuses here. So the stone, the rune stone, some wood, the meat, the iron ore here, and over here some more peas and some more peas here. So overall, not bad. Let's deal with the mountain strip. So this one is gone no matter what anyway. We are removing this, that, come on, what am I doing? And that. And of course we are adding a new one. Let's Let's see what we get. Okay, 3 more wood, 1 stone, oh, 2 iron ore and some coins. And then last but not least, the green Vikings will return back home. Then we are starting the penultimate round again. We are adding 2 more yellow Vikings. These spaces are blocked. Yeah, we are getting some food now from 1 to 4. That's great. So all these nice things are ours, but that's also the last harvest of the game. Next we are flipping Greenland to the other side. Now it's Newfoundland. We are adding some more coins to the other one. Going here now, it's 6 coins. It's really not terrible at all. Let's remove here, similarly here. But yeah, I'm not sure if I will be able to pull that one off, actually. I really suck at this, and I believe if you are somewhat of an experienced player, going after 2 of these islands is possible, for sure. Okay then, let's draw our freebie weapon. Now we do have a sword. Okay, that's something worth considering now, and then we will take our actions. For our first action, I think it's time to raid. We are sending 2 Vikings here on this board. We need a dragon boat here, and we are allowed to place iron ore. That's basically counts for weapons. They have spaces for 3 of those. We do have 3, and I believe I want to maximize that. So let's totally do that. So this is already a fighting power of 3, which again isn't terrible. We can use swords and stone. We have 1 sword and 1 stone. So in theory, you already have a +5. For this pillaging and raiding, you want to roll as high as possible, so not low. And for the first time, we are rolling the blue die. Again, we are rolling up to 3 times. We want to roll high as possible, and we get to add our iron ore, which is 3. We can't remove the iron ore from the ship, by the way. This is now installed. And we have stone, and we have 1 sword. So let's see. Okay, that's an 8. 8 plus 5 would be 13. And for a 13, we would be getting this shield here. That's not bad, but we could go for the English crown. I'm now really tempted to re-roll that die, because no, we need to roll an 11 actually. If we would have our loot hunter here, this would be a 15, then we would be only rolling a 10, but that's only a 12-sided die. No, I stop here actually. I stop here. The question is, do I want to also spend the stone? I will definitely spend this one here for sure, which already makes it a 12. Right. On its own. For a 12, we could also go for this goblet here. So if I want to hold on to the stone, that is. And does this matter actually? I think this is somewhat larger actually. So that's the one thing that we want to consider actually. Let me try that actually. So in theory, I could place, that's a problem because I'm now covering up the 7 and the 6, and I can't do that because I need to also block all the spaces beneath it. So that wouldn't work. So maybe the goblet is, in fact, the better deal. Is it? It's the same problem actually. Okay. So what was I aiming for actually? I can't again remove those. I have added some coins in here, by the way. In the meantime, I believe, no, I think this one here, but this doesn't really hurt us. So that's really a problem. That's really a problem. So maybe I'm going for the 10. So this would give me my sword actually back because I have the 10 built in basically. 8 plus 3 is already 11. Or I could go for the axe here as well. Let me try them both actually. And that's the piece really which is not fun to watch someone else actually, because that's where you have to really wait for them until they make up their mind. And so after a lot of back and forth, I decided to go for the X here, because this also helps me to complete the 6. We have covered up the 5 legally, that is, and we have also covered up a lot of these minus victory points. Yeah, I think that this works. I was really hoping for more. Maybe we can this round even cover up those here, because we could place green resources there. Yeah, let's see about that. Okay, I think for the next trick we are going game hunting because we want to use our farmhand here accordingly. So again, we are rolling the die. This time it's the red die. We have some bows, 2 bows, I believe. We have some wood, so let's hope for the best. And again, this time we want to roll as low as possible. Okay, that's a 3. I think with the 3 we should be fine. I will stop here. So I will spend the 2 bows. I will spend 1 wood. So we have made it with our first attempt. Nicely done, Vikings. And because we have the farmhand, we are getting 2 of these furs. We are getting this game meat here and 1 extra silver coin. So I think this was certainly worth it. Next, I'm really planning on gamble a little bit, and I want to go whaling because whaling gives you an awful lot of stuff. The thing is, we currently don't have a whaling boat, but we can buy one anytime we want. So let's do that. So we are spending 3 coins to buy 1 of those, and they come with 1 of these iron ore basically pre-painted on them. Though it's already a -1. And yeah, the good thing is it's already also 3 victory points. Not complaining here, but we are exchanging 3 victory points, which are these 3 coins for 3 victory points. But still, it doesn't cost us an action. The risk here is relatively low because if we fail, we get 2 Vikings back. And we have a -3, I believe, in total. 1 from the ship, we have 1 spear, and we have 1 wood. So I think let's try that. We are still getting another occupation card because we have placed something here. Let's see what we get, and that's the wharf owner for 3 victory points, and it's also an immediate effect. When we play this, we may, if we want, sell 1 longboat for 8 coins, basically getting the money back if we spend it. And yeah, the 3 victory points, we don't have to do that. I mean, the 3 victory points on that card alone could be worth it actually. But okay, we still have to roll some dice here. And unfortunately, we have to roll the blue die here. It's a 12-sided, so it's definitely much more difficult to come to a 0 here. So we really have to roll extremely low, but the reward is really high in this one. So first roll, that's a 3. Okay, I think we are stopping here. We have 1 spear. We have 1 printed on our boat. We don't have anyone more in our floor, but we have the wood. So we are totally doing this. Awesome. Okay, that was very, very successful. And in theory, we could have even brought more whaling boats with it. They would all have contributed to that. So we are getting 1 barrel. We are getting these bones, fish bones, and we are getting, what is this? Whale meat, of course. That's really a huge tile which we can maybe try to flip. Next we will do something simple. We are upgrading and visiting 1 mountain strip. What do I want actually? Here I'm tempted to go for this actually. Yeah, let's go for the iron ore, and for the upgrade we are exchanging this whale meat here into this coat or whatever it is. Okay, that was definitely a nice trade. We still have 3 Vikings left, and because we have a medium-sized ship, we are sending 1 of our Vikings here. We have to spend 1 coin, so we are getting 1 back. Oof, okay, it's getting close, but this now allows us to upgrade any amount of different green tiles to their blue side, and that's huge. So all of those flipping to their other side, so we can now basically place them anywhere we want without really being concerned about any of the adjacency problems with the green tiles. That was cool. Okay, I really had to think a little bit, but ultimately again I want to gamble. I want to really enjoy this game. So we are going to raid. We are using our dragon boat. Unfortunately, even though we have 3 iron ore on it, we can't use them because it's really very light crew. They can't carry that many weapons. We still have 1 sword, we still have 1 stone, so we have a +2 anyway. And yeah, on top of this, we're only rolling the orange die, but I still think it might be worth it. So let's see how things go. Okay, that's the best we can roll. It's an 8-sided die. I totally take that. So we could increase it to a 10, and this time I will really check it out off camera. It's really not fun to watch. Of course, we still have the mighty hammer here for 10, so this is definitely intriguing. Okay, again, this has taken me a while. In the end, I decided to go for this drinking horn. Don't spend anything, no stone, no sword, because then I'm not really in a rush to whatever cover up that 6, because in order to cover it, I need to place something down there. I have in theory the stuff, but right now I don't want to do that for just one more coin. No, I think I'm okay here. Okay, and for the last Viking, I'm simply going for 2 upgrades, I believe. Yeah, let's do that. So I believe here I'm going to the green one, the bones, and for this one we are going to the whale meat, which we can then again upgrade a little bit later. And in theory we can already place this onto the board actually if we want to, but I think that's not necessary right now. Actually, I think it doesn't really help us immediately to whatever unlock something. Okie dokie, no starting player. We are collecting our income, which is 7, 6 and 1 here, and I believe 3 from the 7 I want to place directly in here, because then I also get an additional bonus at the end of this round. This is another fur. Next, we flip over another sheep. We have successfully fed our Vikings, but we are also no longer getting any harvest whatsoever, so I think the last round, no, I think we should be okay actually. And then again, we are getting all our bonuses. What we see here, the only new one is this fur. We could debate if we also want to do something like this, for example, and maybe we can also go for this barrel. Is that possible to unlock the barrel somehow? Let me check that. So we can put yellow things in here actually, and if we put 3 coins in there we get another. Let's actually do that. So we are exchanging those into this. I believe it does help actually. In this case I believe it does help. We're getting 1 extra thing down here. It doesn't really give us anything point wise, does it? Yeah, there's 2 points. No, it's still 2 points we are covering up. It's still worth it. Let's do the mountain strip. So this is completely gone because we can't just have 2 pieces of silver there. This is gone as well. Should I have removed that last round already? Can't quite remember actually, but we're removing some now. 1 and 1. And indeed, the last one comes out. And I think, yeah, I think it's correct. I think in a 4-player game, the last round, you're not bringing out a new one. I think that's what the rules say. Don't know why they did that for the 4-player game, but it is what it is. And then yeah, we are bringing back all the Vikings for the last round to come, and now really have to do something here. I'm really so far off actually doing something meaningful points wise here, but yeah, let's see. We are adding the 2 final Vikings, so we do really have a good workforce now. That's at least something, but we also have to do an awful lot now. We don't get any harvest, we are not flipping anything, but we are still getting another weapon. Okay, that's a sword. Okay, the sword could actually help us, but we would have to bring an awful lot of people with us. If we're going for the last one here, we don't have to roll, but we have to have 2 dragon boats. But we are getting this tasty tile here. That's a 15. I mean, that's not bad, right? And maybe one thing I should have mentioned is these tiles here, the blue ones, they also come with a sword value. So you can, when you go pillaging or raiding, you can also go after this one. I only checked out the extra board there, but I believe you get 1 extra cover up when you go to the extra board, even though their shape is a little bit off. Could be wrong though, but definitely something to keep in mind here as well. Okay, I think we have to go pillaging here again. We have to send 3 Vikings. We can send 1 ship, but this time we can also count our... We have already a +3 here. Again, it's 3 rolls with a blue die, and what do we need actually? Ideally, really a 10 or an 11, right? We need the 11 actually. Yeah, let's try that. 8. Okay, we have the 8 again. The 8 would bring us to 11, 13, 15 actually, right? So we have 3, 11 plus 3, that's 2, and we have 2 stones. So we could bring it to 13. So in this case, I think let's roll that again. I'm feeling lucky now. 9, okay. Okay, the game is teasing me here. 12, 14, yeah, we could bring it to 16 actually. We could get the crown of England. Yeah, I think we do that. So again, it's 9 plus 3 from our ship, it's 12. Plus 2 is 14, plus 2 is 16. And we need the 16 for the crown of England. Nicely done. And I believe we should be actually able to place it onto this one here. We still have, we have to cover some more up, but I think that's still fine. We don't have to do that just now. We still have time a little bit later to complete that. For now, we will leave it here. We'll cover up an awful lot of spaces and it will come with 2 extra victory points on its own. Nice. Because we have sent 3 Vikings, we get another occupation card. And here we have the linen weaver, which we can use anytime basically to exchange 2 flax and 1 coin into 2 linen here basically. Which is not terrible, don't get me wrong, but I'm relatively certain I'm not going to play this card this game. Okay, up next we are going for 3 upgrades, I believe. And for those upgrades, I believe I will upgrade those to meat and this one to the other side. I think it's spices or pepperos. So, okay. This is really a brain burner. I think we want some more wool. We have more than basically 2, so we're getting 3 wool in total. I think we can place the wool quite nicely together with our crown of England and whatnot, which I was able to already place here onto our board. I think everything should be legal. I think 1 should be here actually. I think 1, yeah, I have to place 1 more coin in here. I will go for 1 of those. It doesn't really matter, I believe. Let's do something like this. So now this is legal, I believe. And we still have 2 more wool. Nice. So I think we can work with that. And because we placed 3 Vikings, we are getting another card, and that's the etiquette teacher. So whenever we are playing a new occupation, we will get some peace. I mean, it's 3 victory points. That's, I think, the bigger deal. We have an awful lot of peace actually. So yeah, not sure if this does help us actually. I don't know. Then I guess we are going to gamble again. Yeah, let's do that. So we are placing 3 dudes in here. This time we will go for the occupation card first, which we are getting, because we can now play up to 4 cards onto the table. And here we have the Gnar build. I think it did pay off actually. So we could, in theory, now instead of building a whaling boat, we could now spend, we can do this action, which I think is okay. Actually, maybe that is something we might be considering, but it's a 3-point card. I think that's the better deal. So we are now playing 4 cards. 1, 2, 3, and 4, I believe. Yeah, we have an anytime action. We could now basically sell this boat, but I think it doesn't really matter actually. Ultimately, it's 11 points, which again isn't terrible in this game. I think this was definitely worth it. And then I believe with our last meeple, we are going to this space. We don't have enough wood, unfortunately, but we have 1 wood, so we can exchange this 1 wood into 3 victory points. And I think that's definitely a good trade-off for sure. Okay, this is the end of the game, of the action phase, that is. We are still getting our income, but we are no longer getting the bonuses. And in theory, you can basically counter-calculate, but I think in this case, we want to cover up something before we are going into the last income, because now we're getting 15 coins instead of 12. I think this is totally worth it. Let me check if everything is legal. Yeah, if not, then it's on me. It's an asterisk anyway. So I will get 15 money now, but it was actually 16. So 15 here plus the 1 in here. And I believe here we are losing some points actually. That was really not great. It's not an awful lot, but These islands, yeah, they give you stuff, and maybe they did help me with all the other things down here, so maybe ultimately it was still worth it to some extent. But yeah, I don't know. I could have done much better. Last thing we do, we will flip this back to the side. We are getting an extra sheep, so that's also 2 more points. Feast wise, we are okay, so we had to place 1 coin on this, but it was still worth it, I believe. And then yeah, we are doing the final scoring. And yeah, I always do something wrong here with the pluses and the minuses. Typically, I already calculate things in, but I wanted to do it somewhat right. Again, I didn't really go for the last income, which again is simply, you can't place it, you don't have to place it, doesn't really matter. I did the placement here. I think my plus points were 81, but I have minus 9 minus points basically, which then ultimately is 72 points, which isn't terrible, quite honestly, because again, I haven't really played this game for quite a while. But with 1 more emigration, for example, I could have netted 13 more points for this one here, for example. So it wasn't really far off. Not 100% sure what I did wrong. Maybe the cards weren't exactly in my favor, or maybe I didn't use them well enough. This could have been a problem, so maybe I should have used the ship architect at least once more, maybe, because again, that's 8 points for basically 4 points plus a little bit, and it doesn't really cost you an action. And then I could have sent this ship off to basically a faraway region. This could have been, I think, 23 points or so. Again, I guess a lot of optimization potential here, but ultimately I'm not overly unhappy, quite honestly. I would have been somewhat disappointed if I would have won this game now, or would have reached the 100 points. So I think everything is fine, and I didn't really embarrass myself. That's at least how I feel about it. Anyway, I really hope you enjoyed my little playthrough of A Feast for Odin here. Definitely let me know if you are interested in the Norwegians expansion. So I'm relatively certain that I will bring at least the base game to game night this week. Let's see if I can bring it to the table, but I do at least 2 or 3 folks who enjoy this game, so if they are there, I might be lucky, and then I could consider really playing with the Norwegians. Maybe I will bring the Norwegians with them. I think it really doesn't do an awful lot of difference. You have some more things. Guess there are now horses or donkeys as an additional animal, as far as I know. There could be more cards, but again, there are so many cards in this game. I mean, this is the pile of occupation cards. It's really ridiculous, and really haven't seen an awful lot here anyway. So maybe I will definitely bring it then to the table as well. I will have a look at it anyway. And yeah, let me know what you think. If you want a rematch with the Norwegians in the not so distant future, and I will certainly consider that. And yeah, again, before I forget, huge shout out to all of my patrons and channel members. You guys are truly amazing. If you want to support my little channel, you will find a link to my page on Patreon. You can directly join me here on YouTube, joining the community. There is a thanks button below the video for a small or maybe not so small donation. Definitely like and subscribe, leave a comment. This also greatly helps the channel and is very, very much appreciated. And with that being said, hope to see you soon in one of my other videos, and until then, bye bye.